How's it going, guys? Bit of a different style video today to what I would normally make. Today I'm just going to be talking about how I'm currently feeling after the first few days, almost week now of playing FC26 Pro Clubs. I was planning on making it a little later, but I have seen a few of you asking for my opinion, so I thought let's just do it now while things are still fresh. All in all though, early days I know, but I'm genuinely in full agreement to the title of the last video I posted here. This game is fun. It's fully been some of the most fun Pro Clubs have been in terms of like the first week experience probably ever, if not definitely the last few years. This is of course purely on a gameplay perspective. We're still learning the mechanics, what's overpowered, what doesn't work. That'll all come pretty soon when people figure out the meta and start to make it slightly more boring, but for now it's, in general, the game plays really well. I think the biggest things here are the fact that it's so much more responsive. You've probably heard that a lot so far, but like the passing, the shooting, the dribbling, it all feels so quick and clean, just crisp. I find myself passing the ball way too early sometimes. I'm just so used to having to press the button earlier, like last year. Another part of the gameplay that we're all liking so far is just how balanced it is in terms of ways to score goals. As in, there's no real standout method just yet to score easy, cheap goals. You know how last year it just turned into a finesse fest. The year before it was just a crossing fest. Everything feels balanced this year. You can have success with through balls, over the top or along the ground. Tiki-taka, pass the ball about, create yourself some chances. Dribbling's very good. Cutbacks are very good. And even crossing this year is back to being usable. I haven't tried Whip Plus as of yet, but if the basic playstyle feels this good already, combined with the fixed head and the volleys, it seems like it'll be a very decent option again. Like, we of course don't want it to be as much of a joke as it was in FC24, but last year it was equally as much of a joke, just in the wrong direction. It was terrible. But the way right now, every single method of scoring, just, you can play the way you want to, essentially. Maybe outside of the box shots could get buffed slightly, but that's about it. The AI keepers seem pretty damn good. And that's for both teams actually too, not just the other team. One thing in the gameplay that is slightly confusing as of right now is the stamina bar. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or just a new system, but stamina doesn't drain. The short term like blue bar drains, but the overall stamina bar stays the same and will refill when you stop moving. I quite like it, I can't lie, but I just don't want to get too attached yet, just in case it is a glitch and they end up fixing it. I do have a question though for any of you that have used Relentless Plus this year. Just let me know in the comments, what does it do? That could probably help figure out if it's a glitch or not, because normally it would just refill your stamina bar, but because it does already, does it just slow down the short-term loss, something like that? If that's the case, it's probably quite useful, but if it doesn't do anything visually, then it's probably a glitch. I will have the stamina back to normal soon. Next thing I want to talk about is the new leveling system and the archetypes. Just real quick before I do, if you're still watching, drop the video a quick like if you want to, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Make lots of Pro Clubs content, playing with the boys, and have a lot of content lined up for this year. Very excited. I would love to try and hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you'd like what you see, then that would be very appreciated. But yeah, the new XP system. As an overall system, I like it. A lot actually, but I do have a few problems with how they have done it, which may turn into a bit of a hindrance through the year if things are not changed. There's a fair bit of debate from what I've seen so far between people who love it and people who hate it, and I get it really from both sides. Things I like are that it gives you more of a grind to do throughout the year. There's 13 different archetypes, 2 being keepers, so 11 outfield. EA said in their pitch notes that the current level cap of 50 will be extended throughout the year to keep something to play for all year round. Love it. Now, will he actually do this every season like I've seen some people suggest? I don't really know how accurate that is, but if it is, that is phenomenal. I play clubs almost solely on FIFA these days. I don't really touch Ultimate Team as much, or really career mode. So I know I play a lot more clubs than the average person would. So usually when I play clubs each year, I find myself at max level quite quick. It does help me make some more interesting content for you guys, so of course I do it every year, no matter what. But if we get an all year grind this year, that would be brilliant. I do also like how each archetype ranks up individually. Obviously it promotes playing different positions more. I enjoy playing all over the pitch. I want to try and max level every archetype, but again, I get that people don't want to be restricted to one position to start, don't want to have to start fresh to try a new position for a couple of games. And to lead into some of the parts that I don't like as much, You have to buy the other archetypes before you can use them. That cost being 25,000 clubs coins, so like 20 to 30 games worth, or 200 FC points. Real money. Yeah, we'll talk about the microtransactions in a little bit, but yeah, they monetize clubs. But back to the point before, I do understand why people may not be a fan. I, for one, though, really like the idea. In fact, my main issue just comes from how limiting each archetype is in terms of playstyles and just having freedom to make the build that you want to make. I don't mind the fact that the stats have limits. Like, I understand why you can't get a centre back build of 99 shooting, and I would be shocked if those limits don't get raised along with the overall level caps. I don't like that you can only choose 2 out of a maximum 5 playstyle pluses. I get what they've tried here. Maybe they have plans to add more throughout the cycle too, but as of right now, you get the choice of 2 signature playstyles and 3 specialists. I want to be able to use whatever playstyle plus combination I want to in clubs. I mean, just an example, the Tiny Tom build last year that Owen made, it was supposed to be a funny build, 5'4", 200 pounds, like it wasn't supposed to be good on paper, but with finesse plus and low driven plus, it turned into one of the best builds we've ever used. There's no way I've been getting that combination this year, so that build just can't exist the way it was last year. In fact, both of these playstyles are only available in 1 archetype each. Low driven and finisher, finesse and magician. That's it. My favourite combination last year was either using rapid or quick step and combining with either one of finesse or low driven. Not possible this year. Maybe they were too overpowered last year and that's why, but it kills a bit of the fun with builds for me. I like messing around, picking just random ones together. The magician archetype does have the combo available for finesse and incisive, so expect to see that archetype 3 or 4 times in every team you play in a couple of weeks from now when people level it up. And in fact, the most bizarre one for me is the long ball pass plus. I'd say that's a pretty staple playstyle to use in a lot of cam builds last year. That is only available in the progress archetype. Inspired by Fernando Hierro, a centre back build. And best now you're going to see me turning that into a wicked centre mid or cam build at some point. But that just doesn't make sense to me. Are you telling me their intentions for long ball plus were play centre back? Bit dumb. So yeah, just a full limiting of creativity here for the playstyles I'm not really a fan of at the moment. Now that is something I do hope that they plan to change along with the level increases. Maybe adding 2 to 3 more decent options for each archetype to cover all the main combinations would pretty much fix this. Obviously I'd still prefer to choose my own, but if they're trying to diversify it a bit more, they could just cover off the main options. So let's just see what they do. While we're at it, surely give us another playstyle plus slot or 2 down the line as well. Along with the 2 basic playstyles lost we've seemingly lost. And one of the other things I really don't like about the new build system is the fact that you cannot take attribute points, like the new skill points, off a stat and place them elsewhere. But instead you have to spend 5,000 clubs coins to reset the archetype and get all your points back every single time. Like at the moment, the earn rate for clubs coins is pretty slow, somewhere around 1,000 coins per league game. So over an hour of gameplay just to spend on altering your build slightly. Not a fan of that. Skill point system last year, you could just reset it whenever you want, play about, find a build that works for you. And again, maybe like when live events and playoffs come around, we'll be able to make more and more coins and save them up a lot faster. But right now, combined with the store items, it seems a little insane to me. I feel like we then have to bring some attention to the consumables tab here as well. XP multipliers and instant XP. This is kind of strange. I mean look, microtransactions have been in the mode now for 2 years with the cosmetic items, but they have no effect on the gameplay, so I'm not really forced to buy them unless you want something unique on your player. These new consumables though bring a really strong element of pay to win to pro clubs. Yeah. As of right now, you can buy multiple variations of instant XP, which is applicable up to level 25 per archetype. And XP multipliers ranging from 1.7 times to 6 times XP for multiple games. Again, these are buyable with coins, clubs coins. 6 times XP for 5 games, for example, will cost you 30,000 clubs coins or 500 FC points. This early in the game, if 30,000 coins is a shit ton. I mean, let's say like 30 games worth, going off the 1,000 coin a game average. Excluding unlocking your archetype, excluding buying cosmetics, and excluding changing your attributes. Look, yeah, we might end up getting nice pairs from playoffs and live events which will completely void this complaint. Maybe even adding some more consistent objectives, just to keep a nice, consistent, even coin flow for playing the game. But at the moment, it definitely feels like it's being catered towards buying FC points. I mean, I did it, I'll admit it. I bought everything in the consumable store as soon as I could because I want to get leveled up fast and bring you guys some fun content, but it definitely feels dodgy. I'll even say I believe they want you to be buying these consumables as often as possible, because if you look at the total XP required to hit the current level 50 limit, it's around the 40,000 mark per archetype. Let's say the average player earns 250 XP per match. We're talking 160 matches to hit level 50 per archetype. Keep in mind this is the first level limit. So with 13 different archetypes, 160 games each, are we seriously saying that EA expects us to play 2,080 games to hit level 50? I mean, come on. I hit about 1,100 games in all of FC25 for context here, and I play a lot of clubs. So yeah, if they go by their plan of increasing their level limit as we progress, they definitely intend for us to be actively purchasing consumables. So I really hope clubs coins become more abundant, and they're not just going straight up pay to win. Only time will tell, I guess. I guess on the same topic here as well, of the club store, I do want to quickly mention the cosmetics this year. It's another year of the same exact stuff in the essentials section, with like 4 or 5 additions per section. There are a few new wacky things like these hairstyles that are brilliant, and the exact things I believe they should be added more consistently. The limited time items seem to follow the same pattern of releasing once per season. Again, if it was up to me, I would just have them releasing things as often as possible. If it's decent, I'll buy it. Can never have enough cosmetics, I think. Now, in fairness, I do have this archetypes tab now where you can unlock masks, sleeves, boots, gloves and things in different colors, so you can really play about with it. I do find it a little weird though that you have to hit a certain level per archetype to unlock it, and then have to pay for it. I feel like I should be one or the other. But anywho, I do just want to reiterate that I am a massive fan of this game this year. So far, genuinely loving it. So I don't want to be sounding too negative. It's definitely easier to sound like I'm complaining than talk about the positive things. But in general, I think most of it is great, with just a few things that worry me running alongside. A few other things I want to mention then. Rush live events. The first of these is yet to start, but it is coming very soon. And I'm pretty excited to give them a go. If they give out good rewards, you can expect us to keep coming back and to play some and try out all the fun house modes. The first one coming up being the designated scorer one. One player in each team gets double goals if they score. Class. I'm keen to try a keeper and rush as well. 25k unlocking archetypes. We haven't had the privilege yet, but it sounds like a good laugh. I feel like Rush got boring last year fast, as it was just the same thing with nothing really to play for other than XP. So once you leveled up, it was like, alright. So these changes feel pretty good so far. They did also knock down the match length from 7 minutes down to 5. So faster matches, more matches, just more fun in general in my eyes. Another feature that you may have seen doing the rounds on like TikTok and things like that is the substitutions in clubs. Unfortunately, it looks like that was only available in the beta, but I am hoping that that is something that they're fine-tuning and maybe releasing later this year too. My guess is it was a trial that ended up being very buggy and wasn't carried over straight away. Alongside that, maybe the Spotify widget that some of you may have had last FIFA 2. It was only available in certain locations for testing, so here in Oz we got to use it. And it is quite nice being able to switch from the FC soundtrack to anything in your Spotify. Best know we were playing some Owen MH on the background, link in the description. I imagine this feature will be coming out worldwide later this year, in addition to hopefully the club substitutions. The new 3 club limit is another thing I really like. To have our own main club, I don't know, maybe a club that we try and go for elite every season. A club where we can mess around, do some fun challenges, and I don't know, maybe a return for the public club could be on the horizon. Guess we'll have to see. Great feature though, no more having to leave your main club to play with someone else. Very, very good change. The player customization seems to be pretty good again this year. I know some people aren't the biggest fans of wacky faces and stuff, but I personally love them. In fact, I was able to remake my face from last year, so that's a big plus for my new branding. While we are on that topic of customization though, it probably is worth mentioning that in terms of kit creation, there isn't any new templates. I feel like that's pretty easy to add stuff to. So yeah, a little disappointing on that side of things. And same goes then for the AI customization. You can still do everything to the face, use the hairs that you buy from the store, stuff like that. But, and I'm pretty sure this is a glitch, you can't change their boots anymore, simple cosmetic stuff like that. All the stuff you could do last year, it isn't available. So my guess here is that that's just a little oversight they haven't. So it may get added back in a later patch. Very minor though. And lastly then to wrap up, just a couple of things I'm not the biggest fan of. Starting with good old facilities. What are we doing? I feel like we've regressed, to be honest. They were marketed last year as being a way to add a third playstyle plus to your players, only for chip shot, slide tackle and block plus to be the only ones ever. Block plus coming a lot later in the year, mind you. This year though, your new options are long throw plus, and then in this one, we can get long throw plus. Yeah. They added an AI section, but if we're being honest, you can make the AIs 99 in every stat and they'd still be useless. But that's why we love them. We'll of course try them out, but I already have an expectation that it's going to be another year of just giving me and the boys more pace. And then finally, playoffs. We're about a month out now from the first playoffs of the year. I already know it won't be the case, but I really hope they've got rid of golden goal. Let me know what your thoughts about that are. I personally, us as a group, we all agree that draws up to 90 minutes should go straight to penalties. I find shootouts a lot of fun in clubs, but we can never get to do any. Even when trying to hold the ball all the extra time, making it obvious that we're trying to take it to penalties, we still managed to concede in the 115th after purposely drawing the game up. I think we managed 2 penalty shootouts all year last year. They're fun, let us do more of them. That might be enough thing only though, so maybe it's not a big issue. Would prefer a lot more though if we got pens. Or at the very least, a chance to equalise in extra time. Anyways then, that wraps up my early thoughts on pro clubs in FD26. Apologies for the rant. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you agree with and what you disagree with, as I'm very interested in hearing everyone's thoughts. Maybe even make a video reacting to some of your comments. We'll see. But yeah, all in all, the most fun the start of clubs has ever been for me. Can't wait to keep playing. But definitely a few issues in there that I feel like need addressed. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.